I tried recording a couple other videos tonight, but they just didn't really feel right. It was like they're too dark, they're too deep, they're too... So I'm just gonna leave this with you guys tonight. The frequency war that they have on our systems constantly. So believe it or not, the world was built on sound. Before there was language, there was resonance. Before there was structure, there was tone. Ancient temples were designed to echo harmonic frequencies that align the body, mind, and spirit. Cathedrals weren't originally for control, they were sound chambers. Stone held resonance, air vibrated the soul awake. Every sacred site was a tuning fork. Then came the inversion. In 1953, a worldwide music standard was adopted, tuning instruments to 440 Hz instead of the natural aligned 432 Hz. It was marketed as modernization, but beneath it was war. 432 Hz is mathematically aligned with the universe. It resonates with the golden ratio and harmonizes the cellular structure of the body. It calms, heals, and awakens. 440 Hz creates agitation, dissonance, and subtle distress in the nervous system. It's just enough to keep the body tense, the mind distracted, and the soul out of sync with source. This wasn't an accident, it was by design. I do just want to throw in here, before my Kundalini activation, before my source stream, before I remembered who I was, I started listening to 528 Hz every single night while I was sleeping. And I couldn't recommend it enough. I still listen to it. Try it. Next up, color manipulation, the false spectrum. The color wheel was also hijacked. Sacred color frequencies used to anchor divine memory, deep sapphire, true violet, golden rose. But now, bright, overstimulating neon in children's programming, drained, soulless palettes in hospitals, flashing lights in entertainment venues sync to glitch-coded music. They tell us red is danger and black is evil, while subtly embedding darkness into pastel softness, artificial lighting, and fast fashion. The feminine has been coded in mimic pink, masculine has been drowned in grayscale. The true spectrum, the one that reminds us of who we are, has been buried beneath aesthetic programming. And as I've covered before on a separate video, our symbols have very obviously been hijacked. The triangle, the eye, the flame, all once sacred, all now feared. The system's genius isn't in creating, it's in inverting. It cannot manifest on its own, so it distorts what was once pure. The triangle, representing divine convergence, is now seen as the Illuminati. The eye, once symbolizing awakened perception, is now tied to surveillance. The flame, originally the soul's eternal memory, is now linked to hell, where we are right now. The serpent, representing DNA and inner knowing, was labeled evil. And they didn't erase the sacred, they just made you afraid to touch it. Now let's talk about sound cages, because why do so many people feel so drained after visiting public spaces? It's not social anxiety, it's auric assault. Most shopping malls, gyms, and airports are built with strategic acoustic layouts, echo-heavy architecture, aggressive background music, repetitive rhythmic structures, bright, flashing signage, overhead announcements, and under it all, embedded frequency pulses too low to hear, but strong enough to shift your mood. The result? Disconnection from self, impulse purchases, fatigue that feels like your soul got scraped. That's because it did. And you know who the system really fears? Those with ears to hear. Certain people can't sit in restaurants with loud TVs. They cry when a violin hits the right note. They feel nausea around digital signage. They get chills in nature without knowing why. These people aren't too sensitive. They're tuned to remember. The system calls them fragile, but they are the canaries in the coal mine. Their bodies speak the truth before the mind can even catch up. Frequencies are real. Your soul remembers the sacred spiral, the open eye, the fire in the sky. The war was never just physical, it was vibrational. Your body remembers 432 hertz. Your blood remembers the color indigo. But the good news is, once you recognize this, it begins to unravel. When you start reclaiming sound, light, and symbol, the system panics. Because if you hear clearly, you cannot be controlled. If you see clearly, you cannot be fooled. And once you remember, you can never be unmade again.
Looks like you forgot, once again, how powerful you are.